Okay, here it's time for the unfair question.
Sure.
Certainly, in my time working for the security service, I talked to all kinds of people, some of whom were in prison, who had been convicted of plotting terrorist acts. We're dealing now with this big debate in Canada: should we repatriate Canadians who went to join ISIS or Al Qaeda, may have done some horrendous things, and now claim that they've seen the light and no longer want to be part of this. So therefore, bring me home, help me. I said I've talked to people who've done sentences and have tried to convince me that they no longer believe what got them in jail in the first place. Full disclosure, I was generally a healthy skeptic because I'd seen cases where, through intelligence collection, that people were categorically lying, that they had in fact, gotten rid of this kind of thing. So if someone says to you, okay, Tony, you strike me as a pretty honest guy. You've leveled with me today. I think that you're truly telling me an accurate rendition of your journey and how you got out of it. What do you say to people that say, I don't know? How do you really guarantee? How do you really convince yourself and accept, this person truly has made a decision which no longer makes them potentially a violent person, violent extremism, because this has implications, right, for resource allocation. Yep. In terms of your law enforcement, security intelligence. What do you say to people like me who say, I don't know, Tony, you got to convince me a little bit more?
Yeah, that's a very fair question. In my case, I would say, look at my actions.
Yeah.
Over the last decade, without receiving any financial remuneration from Life After Hate, I was executive director and hundreds, if not thousands, of hours working to undo the things that I've done to the world, but I've gone back to the communities that I've harmed to make amends, and you sort of have to. The proof is in the action, I think.
Yeah,
and it's pretty. Could a sociopath pull it off? Probably. But I think the more you put the emphasis on action rather than talk as a way of judging, I think if the action and talk are incongruent, it will reveal itself.
Mm-hmm. It's like the good old Latin phrase "acta non verba," right? I mean, you look for someone's actions, not their words, because anybody can say anything, right?
Yeah.
And I think that this is something that I've been kind of pushing for the past 2 decades or so. That a lot of talk about this whole de-radicalization thing. Well, disengagement is something actually a hell of a lot more observable, because disengagement involves behaviors and actions, whereas de-radicalization involves a mindset. And I don't know about you, but it's really hard to read someone's thoughts, but you can certainly see someone's actions and behaviors overtly. So what now, Tony? You've written this book. You've made a documentary. So you've left Life After Hate. So yep. Where does life take you now?
There's so much. There's touring to do with the film when things get back to normal. The film's called Healing from Hate: Battle for the Soul of a Nation. That followed myself and a couple other people from Life After Hate around for a couple of years.
Cool.
Really quite a powerful film. It's just on video on demand. So if you're on Shaw or TELUS or anything and look at new releases in the documentary section, you should be able to find it. As part of my journey of atonement for being a Holocaust denier and the harm that I did to the Jewish people, I did a journey to Auschwitz and spent some time in Krakow and Warsaw, and we were able to. I spent 15 hours at Auschwitz over 2 days with a guide. In a very personal journey. And, when I first talked about the Holocaust in Auschwitz as a 20-year-old thinking I knew everything, I was coming from this place of non-feeling. It was like arguing about, well, this little fact here couldn't have happened, so the whole thing's wrong.